Thank you, Joe. And thank you, Ronnie Nicole, for the update. You may not know this, but we have a mutual friend, a close friend of mine named Coach Kevin Wolf. So I don't really know what kind of job you're doing yet, but he tells me you're doing a great job, so that's good enough for me. So appreciate all your work. Real quickly, Joe told me I had a quick hook tonight, so I won't talk too long. But I have a couple stories about this individual, and then when I get done, we can form a line over here if you have a story, and we'll dedicate about an hour and 15 minutes to that. And then we'll get into anyway, on a more serious note, the alumni of St. Francis de Sales class of 71 have decided to, and went ahead and done it, put together a special award called the Pioneer Spirit Award. This is the first time this has happened, I think. And anyway, it's going to be given to a person tonight that has been around St. Francis for a long time and has dedicated a lot of time, energy, money, help while they were at the school. But beyond that, this award is for what they've done the last 50 years for the students, class of 71, and all the students that came afterward. So it's a pretty special award. We'll get into more of that in a minute. I'm only going to go half on. So anyway, a quick story about a bar in Beverly. There's a bar over in Beverly, most of you know where that is. It's an Irish pub. A guy was walking by one day, decided to stop in for a beer. So he goes inside, sits down at the bar, and the two guys sit next to him. He orders a Guinness stout. Two guys sit next to him. One guy says to the bartender, he says, "Hey, bartender, I'd like a shot of Irish whiskey." The guy sitting next to him says, "Hold on a minute." He goes, "Is that an Irish brogue I hear?" He says, "Yes, it is." He goes, "Where are you from?" He says, "I'm from County Cork." He goes, "No way." He goes, "Yes, I am." He goes, "I'm from County Cork too." He goes, "Where'd you go to school?" "St. Gregory's." He goes, "No way, I did too." So this goes on and on. Finally, the big bartender comes back around, grabs each of these guys by the collar, drags them to the front door, and throws them out unceremoniously, goes back behind the bar like nothing happened, and begins to the bar again. So this guy's sitting there, he calls the bartender over, he couldn't contain himself, and he says, "Sir, excuse me," he said, "I come in here, got a nice Irish pub, I'm having a good time, it's quiet, Irish music, Irish food. You got these two guys here, they're reminiscent about the old sod here, you come around like a maniac and throw them outside. Now, why would you do that?" He says, "Well, I've been working here 7 years, and that's long enough to know when the Sullivan twins have had too much to drink." Okay, so Sullivan twins, yeah, you guys got it. Okay, all right, you got it? Okay, back to this award, segueing into another Sullivan that we happen to know, Tom Sullivan, who's going to be the recipient of this award. And what this award represents, again, like I said, dedication to St. Francis. Wake up, Tom. It's a dedication. Yo, Tom. Anyway, he'll get it soon enough. So the things that Tom Sullivan has done, he came to us as we were seniors in 71, in the fall of 70. I know some of us said, "Oh, we're getting the new guy. The administration's screwing us again." But as it turned out, he was our class moderator, guidance counselor, let us slide with a lot of things. I'm not going to name names tonight, but, they don't have the stacks up on the second floor, Ronnie. That's a good idea. But we had them back then. And I know there were many couples that would sneak up there between classes or even during class to talk. Sometimes they would even go into Mr. Sullivan's office. He'd leave, get a cup of coffee, they'd lock the door. But Tom was, he was a man, he was a Renaissance man, a man ahead of his time. So the kind of guy he is, and we've been friends with him. I guess the other thing is too, so many people come in and out of our lives, right? A lot of you are reconnecting tonight, which is great, but you lose contact with people you're really tight with. But not with Tom Sullivan. If you were his friend, you stayed his friend. And he's the king of networking. I still see him. I know he sees a lot of other people. And he's always there to help. I mean, he's a loving guy. He's a caring guy. He's genuine. and he's been around and helped a lot of people. I know, quick story for me, and then we'll start the line. But quick story for me, when I got out of Thornton Junior College, as I was ambling my way through school and didn't know what to do next, I called Tom Sullivan. I said, what do you think I ought to do? He said, well, don't go to Southern Illinois. That's a little too freaky for you. Okay. Don't go to Eastern, no offense anyone. Don't go to Eastern Illinois, but that's a little too boring for you. He goes, don't go to U of I, it's too big. You need to go to Illinois State. And that's exactly how long the conversation took. And I went to Illinois State and worked out real good. But anyway, that's the kind of guy he's up. He's helped so many people, and he represents St. Francis deSales, and he's still going strong. I mean, he's 85, because we all know we're 68, so we can't play the I'm not that old game anymore. Not tonight, but he's 85 years old. He walks 4 miles a day. He's a devout Catholic. He's a good man, and he's going to get this award. I like one last thing with Tom. You know, you take your hand, and my dad told me this story a long time ago. He said, as you get out in years, maybe towards 68, and you can count 5 good friends, no family involved, 5 good friends on one hand that you have, you've had a success in life. And Tom, in Tom's case, he only got the 5, but he got the second 5, and I don't know how many more 5s he's got, or how many people's 5 fingers that he's on. So anyhow, with that, I'm going to get some help tonight. If Debbie DeLira, Becker, I'm not good at 2 last names, and Joni, I know Joni Raciniak Lynch, they're going to help us out. They can come out. And if we can get Tom Sullivan to approach the bench. So anyway, if we could raise our glasses for a toast to Mr. Tom Sullivan. Husband, father, grandfather, teacher, guidance counselor, all-around good guy, and probably the most too for us, mentor and friend. To you, Tom. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is a complete surprise, and I won't take long, I promise, because with this type of night, I want you people to talk to each other, not listen to me. But when I think of your class, that was my first year there. It was 70 to 71. I took Mr. Mayor's place in the guidance department, and I lasted another 6 years until 1977. But your class, without a doubt, is very dear to my heart, because I met and have kept in touch with so many of you. But the biggest thing is you made such an impression on me. I got married June 12th, 1971. I was married for 45 years, but my wife passed away 4 years ago from cancer. But life goes on. She was involved in sales, and I just want to thank you for this award. I knew nothing about it, honest to God. I want to thank you, and I hope you have a great time tonight. The hour is going fast, so get around. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tom.